Skybound Love. The world above, with its endless skies, had always been a place of dreams for Ilara. The youngest of three siblings, she grew up in the quiet town of Belmont, nestled in a valley surrounded by rolling hills. But it was the sky she loved most, its vastness, its freedom, its mysteries. As a child, she spent countless hours lying on her back, watching clouds form and drift, her imagination soaring with them. But there was something else Ilara loved: the stars. Her father, a former pilot who now worked as a mechanic in town, had shared his stories of the skies with her when she was young. He had flown high above the world, watching sunrises from the cockpit, feeling like he was part of something greater. His tales filled her with a yearning to someday see the world from his vantage point. As Ilara grew older, her dreams expanded beyond the rolling hills and open fields of Belmont. She yearned for adventure, to break free from the quiet life she had always known. So, after graduating high school, she enrolled in a university far from home, studying aeronautics and aviation engineering. It was at the university that she met Ethan, a fellow student with a passion for the skies. Ethan was a gifted pilot, someone who could make any plane feel like an extension of himself. He was confident, determined, and had an easy way about him that made everyone around him feel comfortable. Ilara found herself drawn to him, but there was something more, something deeper, that she couldn't quite place. Ethan was her constant companion, helping her with projects, studying late into the night together, and exploring the campus grounds under the cover of darkness, watching the stars they both loved. It wasn't long before their friendship blossomed into something more, but Ilara couldn't ignore the feeling that her love for Ethan was tethered to something much larger than herself. It was as if their connection had been written in the stars long before they met. One evening, as they sat on a grassy hill overlooking the campus, Ethan turned to Ilara with a look she had never seen before. "Ilara," he said, his voice soft, "do you ever think about what's beyond the clouds? About what it would be like to fly so high that you're closer to the stars than the ground?" Ilara smiled, her heart skipping a beat. "I've thought about it my whole life," she admitted. "I want to fly, Ethan. Not just on a plane, but really fly. To feel the wind beneath me. To be free of everything." Ethan's eyes sparkled, and for the first time, Ilara saw the depth of his own dreams reflected in his gaze. "I want that too," he said, taking her hand in his. "But sometimes I feel like we're grounded by the very things we love. Like the sky is so close, yet so far away." Ilara leaned her head on his shoulder, the warmth of his presence a comfort as the stars began to twinkle above them. "Maybe one day," she said softly, "we'll find a way to break free." Years passed, and Ilara and Ethan's love grew. They graduated together, both with honors, their shared passion for aviation leading them down similar paths. Ethan became a test pilot for a major aerospace company, and Ilara, with her engineering background, joined a research team working on designing new aircraft that could change the future of flight. But despite their success, there was still something missing. They both longed for a way to soar beyond the constraints of Earth, to experience flight in its truest form, without the limitations of modern technology. One fateful day, as Ilara worked late in the lab, she received an email that would change everything. The subject line read, "Opportunity of a Lifetime." It was an invitation to join a project that aimed to build the world's first manned spaceplane, a vessel that could take passengers into the very edge of space. The program, known as Skyward Horizons, was seeking talented engineers and pilots to help make the dream of space tourism a reality. The project's goal was to send a small group of pioneers into the sky, beyond the atmosphere, and into the stars. Ilara's heart raced as she read through the details. This was it, the chance she had always dreamed of. But there was one problem. The program was highly selective. Only a handful of applicants would be chosen to join the crew. And even if she was chosen, the mission would take her far away from Earth, from Ethan. She stared at the screen, torn. She had always dreamed of flying to the stars, but could she leave behind the love of her life to do so? Later that evening, Ilara found Ethan waiting for her on the rooftop of their building, looking up at the stars. He smiled when he saw her, but there was a quiet sadness in his eyes. "Ilara," he said, his voice filled with the same longing she had seen in him all those years ago. "I know you're thinking about it. The Skyward Horizons program." She nodded, sitting down beside him. "I don't know what to do, Ethan. This is everything